All right. So, hello, Julia. I'm so grateful that you took the time today to be a part of this and share where you're at and your experience around coaching. So, today I'm interviewing Julia, and Julia has been a long-term client of mine over the last year. And we've made some beautiful strides together. And she's here to share a little bit about what her experience has been like and some takeaways she's gained. And yeah, so I'm just going to be asking a few different questions around this and really look forward to hearing about where you're at and when you first began. We'll just kind of start out with what were you currently dealing with when we first started coaching together?
Yeah, I think it was back in 2022 or end of 2023. I think I was just getting used to moving into New York and still dealing with some past trauma and anxieties that carried over from, college and that whole era. So, really using you as a guidance and coach, meditative and, you know, anxiety wise to get more adapted to adult life and living amongst a lot of simulation and working through my anxieties.
Yeah, that was a really big transition. I remember
Yeah,
when you first came to me, there was a lot. There was a lot going on with work and
totally.
post-college life and living and all of that. And yeah, I'm so glad that you finally feel like you're a little more acclimated to all of that and that it was helpful for you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so what made you decide to actually commit to coaching with me?
Mm.
Specifically, like versus anything else that you may have considered or tried in the past. Yeah,
I think in the past I did like more cognitive behavioral therapy, which is, good. And I think it's always good to try things up just to, when you feel like you've hit a plateau in your strength and improvement in therapy. And I feel like you offered a very different type of skill set to the therapeutic and meditative, practice. So taking like bits of behavioral therapy and adding in more, cognitive and meditative practices really helped me more ground myself.
yeah. I really fully believe in the holistic approach to healing, and I think doing the work with therapists is so beneficial because they can get into layers that as coaches may not be able to. And at the same time, there's that complementary component around bringing in the meditation and the other practices that can really help. And it sounds like that was really beneficial for you.
Totally.
Yeah, wonderful. And is there anything, I guess, that you felt that you tried on your own that didn't get you the results that you were really hoping for?
I think again, it was more just like doing cognitive behavioral therapy, like a specific type of therapy for so many years. I felt more stagnant and that I'd hit a plateau in the way I was like, looking into my thoughts and looking into my anxieties. And I feel like I needed a bit more of an outward and just a different approach in general to really dig
Yeah,
deeper.
yeah, yeah. And I'm glad that you found that. I feel very honored
Yeah.
and grateful. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more. Like, what do you feel has changed for you over the last year or two? Like
Mm.
specifically maybe work-life balance or in your relationships or just emotional and mental wellness overall?
Yeah, I think my emotional maturity and how I approach situations cognitively has really changed. Just practicing being more grounded and, really digging into those deeper level questions. I feel more proactive than I do reactive. And being able to just step outside myself when I, get heated in moments or get, swept into the heat of things. I feel I have more of an ability to step outside and slow down.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's been really helpful, just being able to be like the objective person in your own life where you're stepping outside and kind of noticing when you're in this reactive place or emotional place and being able to work with yourself a little bit better around that sounds like it's been really helpful.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand that ability, and I think it takes some time to be able to strengthen that in all of us, myself included, just to be able to really look at, okay, I'm reacting to this in this way, and maybe if I looked at it in a different way, things could shift a little bit differently. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, yeah, what great things do you feel had happened to you that you didn't really expect over this period of time?
Like with coaching
With
or myself
yeah,
over.
in
Yeah.
general, I guess in life, but
Yeah.
surrounding our time
I,
together. Yeah.
I think I'm just an overall like pretty restless person, and it really set aside this, period of time for me to sit with my thoughts that I'd like usually avoid by the go, go, go of the daily routine. So I think that was the biggest part, just being able to sit, through the restlessness, through the kind of procrastination of thoughts, or overthinking.
Yeah. So to be able to just help you navigate around your thoughts and not feel like
Yeah,
you're just overthinking everything and feeling just a little bit calmer when it comes to how you approach life and just being with yourself overall, it sounds like has had a
yeah,
really big effect. Yeah. And I can really just gauge, like, from when we first began to where we're at now, just noticing how much calmer you seem.
yeah,
And
yes,
I've noticed that over the last few years too.
yeah,
Like you're able, like when we first began, meditation almost felt like a little bit of a struggle, I remember, like it is for a lot of us. And then over some time, being able to do it on a regular basis and be able to relax a little bit more. Like it
totally.
didn't feel like so restless, I guess. Yeah. Is that what
Yeah,
you noticed for yourself as well?
yeah. No, I feel like a totally more calmer version of myself. Yeah,
Amazing. That's what we could all hope for. So,
yeah.
what on this beautiful ending, what do you feel you would say to somebody who was considering working with me? And in regards to maybe managing their stress level, anxiety,
Mm.
or anything else. Yeah.
I think, you really offer like a beautiful blend of different practices, which I think when most of us think about or have been through therapy, we have this kind of preconceived notion of it's just like someone writing on their notepad and then us, kind of ranting and them kind of nodding at us. And I think with your blend of skill sets, it really allows you to dig deeper, as I've said, like into this more meditative space, and really, get the thoughts at the more cognitive level, like hypnotherapy type, but not as quite that deep, but really catch the thoughts as they're being born, and then work on the ruminating of them.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. The thoughts as they're being born, because it's so true.
Yeah,
Like these thoughts, they just come up, and the ability to kind of catch them before they go into that place that leads us into the feelings of anxiety or nervousness or fear
totally.
and all the emotions. So I am, really, really grateful that you receive so much benefit out of
Yeah,
this holistic style of coaching. And thank you again for taking the time to share your experience with me and with anybody else who might be considering coaching. All
of
right.
course. Thank
Yeah,
you. My
thank you
pleasure.
so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.